have another person here for SoCal Botanicals. What's your name?
Derek.
Derek? And what exactly is it that you do here?
Bud tend, a little bit of everything, work with clones, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. I heard that you were the guy to talk to about the types of medications you guys provide. Real knowledgeable as to which ones will work the best for whatever ailments.
Got a little bit, yeah. I know a little bit about everything.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been in the game for a little bit.
Nice. Do you mind me asking about how long, generally?
The game now for about, and the medical marijuana side of it now for about 5 years. Starting at BP, and I've worked at BP in Elsinore, I've worked at New Life in Murrieta, and I worked here.
Nice. Yeah, I've been out to BP. It's a nice little place they have there. It's nice to see that, you know, the good people always end up at the good places.
Yeah.
I personally have found this place to be, you know, one of the better ones out there, and I've been to, oh geez, over 200 dispensaries in California alone. What exactly brought you here? I mean, is it the way they do things? Is it the
people
product?
that run this place are more compassionate, I would say, than almost anybody I've seen in a long time in this industry. You get a lot of people that are in it for the money and forget about the non-profit thing and the fact that these are actually patients that are, you know, there's some very sick people that have money problems, and these guys take very good care of their patients and the community around them. You know, they're constantly doing stuff for the community. They're constantly taking care of people. I've seen numerous people come in here with as little as $2 in their pocket, and they leave with something, you know. And it's not a lot of places like that that are taking care of people like that. So I was actually at New Life doing vending, and one of the people from here would come in and do some business with me on the side before he was a part of this place. And once he became part of this place, then it was me and him were friends, and I kind of naturally flowed over there, flowed over to them. Yeah, they were just friends of mine. I knew what they were all about, and I wanted to be part of what they were doing. So
that's good. It's nice to see that you know, this is community based. These are friends that you're working with. These patients that come in, you guys have their you know, their health, their mental health, physical health in mind, you know. And it's true, you don't see a lot of places like that. You see a lot of places going for the money, exactly, and they lose sight of what this is about.
Absolutely.
I know that's what brought me here, brought me back after the first time. You know, the little area outside where we're sitting in right now. You know, not a lot of places provide that. Yeah. You know, and there are people who have, like myself, I have a terrible back. Driving out here and then driving back home would be impossible if there wasn't a little area like this
to relax. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Do you know how much water to put in here?
You want to put it in about, I would give it about this, yeah. Here, watch, I'll show you, right?
Hey everybody, it's Loki Jen coming to you. As we just saw, Derek got up right in the middle of what we were talking about to go help a couple of patients out. The patients, they were new. They were new to this whole medical marijuana thing. They had a water filtered pipe, or a water pipe, large glass water pipe. They didn't know how to fill it, they didn't know how to use it. Right in the middle of what we were talking about, he just got up and ran, as you saw, to help them out. And you'll see here in the next scene why I find that impressive. I hope you do too.
Sorry.
No, not a problem, not a problem. I was just telling everybody that, you know, you taking off like that to help patients just out of the blue, that's a rarity anymore. Most people, you know, they once they got the money in the register, it's like, yeah, see ya.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, there's these people hang out. There's a lot of people that come here just to hang out sometimes. So it's definitely we see our patients daily. A lot of loyalty to this place, especially from the locals around here. We have, I'd say, a good 99% of our business is return based. We don't do any kind of advertising yet here, so I mean 3,500 patients and counting, or almost 4,000 patients now. I think with no advertising is definitely a good sign of being part of the community and keeping everybody happy around here, that's for sure.
Nice. Speaking of advertising, this documentary I'm doing for you guys, is this something that I mean, honestly, is this something that you feel is a positive thing for what you guys are doing here, or would you rather see something else?
As far as advertisement, you mean? Or?
As far as, yeah, getting the information out to people.
Well, ultimately, that's the sad part about advertising is, I mean, you start advertising and people are going to say that you're trying to build a bigger client base or try to get, a lot of the time they attach that to money, and it's, I don't see, I mean, I can see that. I see how that happens, but I would advertise more just to let people know we exist.
Right.
Without any kind of medium to put out there that we exist, and unless you drive past us on this little highway right here, you would never know. And half the people that drive past us on the highway have no idea what we do. I just had a gentleman in here an hour ago looking for cactuses. So, I mean, it's you got to let people know we're here.
Oh, yeah.
And by letting them know we're here, I mean, especially in a lot of times, that's why Gem Magazine, a lot of times I used to do a lot of work with them in my previous dispensaries because they were always in doctors' offices. And the cannabis, there's a cannabis culture magazine that's out there that's specifically in doctor offices. They don't go to any kind of head shops or dispensaries with it. It's only in the doctor's offices, and that's where I tend to advertise more. I don't really care for the, I want the patients. I want people that have real medical necessity coming through here. I don't, and we all know nowadays that there is some kind of corruption in this industry as far as there's, you'll have like the 19, 20-year-old kids that are coming in here that are obviously not, terminally ill, and they're, it's killing it. To me, I can't stand that, so I tend to try and keep, if I'm going to put my money somewhere or someone I'm working with's money somewhere, I would try and keep it towards the real patients that really need this.
That's fantastic. My thoughts are the same. In fact, the only way I found this place is my father actually knows the owner of the bar just down the street there, and I hear you guys frequent it a lot for food and after hours and stuff like that. And she said to me that she knows about my problems, and she said these are some really good people. You need to go check them out. And from just that word of mouth, I came out here and I decided to not go for the commercial, not go for the flash and jam, and go straight for the documentary because, like you said, you see a lot of people who obviously don't really need the help. Not saying that we know for sure what they have,
we don't know,
I mean, you gotta try and.
Well, you have to assume that there's some kind of, some of them aren't going to have the ailments they tell. Just people in general, not even just necessarily based on age, but there are people in general that will go into a doctor's office and tell the doctor what they need to hear so they can get a legal pass to possess and carry, and it's like. Being fearful of the law, I can understand why people would do that. There is constant harassment out there, and that's one way of getting around it, kind of. However, it does taint the industry a little bit as far as for what we're trying to do here. Take it easy, guys. What we're trying to do here is take care of the patient first and make sure that the government, nonetheless, knows the medical necessity of this, not provide a bigger corner store with cheaper, cheaper pot than the next guy. We want to make sure we keep this medically based and in the right direction at all times.
Absolutely. I think that's great. I think it's fantastic. Normally what I do is I do a lot of work for Normal. I've been with Normal almost 17 years now. For us, it was a matter of just rescheduling the cannabis from a Schedule 1, which means absolutely no use whatsoever, to a Schedule 2, which will allow us to not only investigate it and test it more, but have it available and provided to those who really need it through,
legal channels.
Exactly, the proper facilities. Up until just recently, those of us that really did care, we had to do the backwoods thing. We had to try and, be the pharmacist, so to speak. We don't have to do that anymore. I think that this place, with their business structure, people like yourself here, when they start seeing that doing the right thing is actually better for them in the long run, you guys are going to be leaps and bounds ahead. I think this business structure you have here is going to definitely be a model for the future, especially for those who are community-based.
I would hope so, absolutely. Yeah. And I've worked at dispensaries that are almost robotic in sense, you know. They're and I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with that, but there's a certain vibe I like to. When I walk into a place, I want to feel a certain vibe. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel like I'm at a kid in a toy shop, basically. I mean, this is what I love. This is what fixes my problems and, you know, my pains, and this is pretty much the, you know, the medication path that I've chose. So when I come in here, I want to definitely feel good when I'm coming in here. I don't want to feel like everyone's looking at me or not, you know, or I don't want to feel like there's any kind of trust issues with me or something. A lot of places you walk into and it's almost like you're in a casino where there's 1,000 cameras and armed security guards at every turn, and I mean, it's you feel like you're gonna get probed or something if you grab or touch the wrong thing or ask the wrong question, and it's like, at least over here it's a very comfortable environment for people to come. You know, you get an 85-year-old man, it's the first time he's ever stepped into a dispensary in his life, and that can be scary, you know. So at least here we're very comfortable. People can come and be very, very comforted.
Nice, nice. Yeah, speaking of attracting really good people, you'd mentioned earlier that a patient had found something of yours and was trying really hard to get it back to you, or the owner. Do you mind telling us what that was that you had dropped out there that most people wouldn't have returned?
Oh, yeah. A minute ago I dropped a $100 bill, and I was been working outside all day, and somewhere during the day, my $100 bill jumped out of my pocket, and I actually had a patient that was sitting out here that grabbed the $100 bill and brought it into me and told me that I had just, you know, that it had just popped up out here and it was somebody's 100. You know, and I took it and put it in the register, not even realizing it was mine. Walked in the back, started checking around, like, wait a minute, and realized, oh man, I'm missing my 100. And so, you know, my boss had given me the money this morning, and then yeah, it jumped out of my pocket sometime. So. Yeah,
you see, and that's the type of people you want to attract.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, they know that you're working hard for that money. They know you need it. And if you don't get your bases covered, then you can't help them.
I like to hope it's some good karma somewhere in there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
On to others, right?
Right, exactly. And that's a good thing for all you subscribers and viewers out there to think about. Think about it when you're going into a dispensary. Think about the type of people that come in and out of there. Are they the type of people that will find something like a wallet or a $100 bill and go through the effort of trying to bring it back to you? I mean, do you really want to go there? I deliberately drive an extra 45 minutes from my home to come here. So, thank you again for the interview here, bud. Is there anything else you want to tell the viewers out there? No. All right.